Hey everyone, it's Jonny Khatru, and today I'm listening to the new album from Tyler, the Creator, Call Me If You Get Lost. Tyler has been on quite the creative streak lately, finally winning critics over after putting out album after album of uniqueness and creativity. Flower Boy and IGOR definitely seem to be a step up in terms of artistry and a maturing of Tyler's ambitions. I think that much has been clear for anyone to see. Although personally, I have kind of missed the more cutting and aggressive side of Tyler that we got more on his first few albums. That being said, I do think that IGOR was probably his all-round best project yet, so I'm really excited to see that we have a new album from him so soon afterwards. Tyler's been putting out these small teaser videos over the last week since he announced the album, and some of them have had music and some of them no. And they've given off a vibe that seems to be mixing a lot of different styles that we've already heard before from him, including dreamlike culture clashes, angsty irritations, and soulful interludes. I'm not sure how much of the music we've already heard we should expect to hear on the album, but I am excited to hear how Tyler will blend these ideas and what new ones he might have to show. The only actual single he's put out has been Lumberjack, which was a surprisingly gritty and noisy rap teaser. And it looks like that one will be on the album, so perhaps that means we should expect more rap on this album after the more melodic IGOR. Although I remember the first single for Flower Boy was Who Dat Boy, which was not very representative of the vibe of the album, so who really knows with Tyler? Let's just get into it and find out. If you enjoy the video, please click the like button and let's get into it. The first track is called Baudelaire. Let's go.
The sun beaming.
Y'all ready? Y'all ready?
Ayo, call me if you get lost, baby.
As you can tell, we have this shit.
Baudelaire, nigga.
Wow, okay. So that was an interesting first track. I mean, I'm glad to hear that Tyler's already started it off with a rap song. It was entirely him rapping. It was only a short introduction track, I guess. But yeah, it had a really jazzy backing, which I really liked. I think I heard some clarinet in there, lots of strings. Honestly, it was lush with natural instrumentation. It was really quite beautiful. And then at the end, we had the stinger from the teaser videos, the Call Me If You Lost. So maybe that's going to be a recurring thing through the album. We'll find out. Track 2 is called Corso.
You see?
On the played a couple demos at Madison Square Garden and tell them motherfuckers that Sony I'm not calling. You sounded cool.
Y'all niggas know.
Wow, okay. Yeah, it's unfortunate I'm pausing between the songs because they seem to be flowing into each other, but I suppose I'll listen to it later myself and let all the songs flow together. But just to give you my thoughts after each song for this video. Wow, it seems like I'm getting what I asked for, right? There's that aggression, there's that cutting spirit from Tyler. It was almost sounding like Onyx at times with the level of aggression he was bringing there. But obviously he's still come in very personal with the themes and everything, that much is clear. I mean, I usually don't focus a lot on lyrics on my first listen to anything, but sometimes lyrics just jump out and there's nothing you can do, and that definitely seems to be the case on these songs so far. I am quite surprised by how much Lumberjack seems to have indicated the sound of the album so far. I was really kind of expecting it to be a Who Dat Boy kind of situation where that was like the one aggressive track or the one rap track and the rest was going to be really different. But so far, no. And we're also getting these very short, to the point rap tracks with no hook. Seems like maybe he was inspired by the way MF Doom does things. I know he was a really big fan of MF Doom, who sadly passed away last year. But yeah, we're definitely off to a good start. This is a hell of a ride so far. Track 3 is called Lemonhead.
Y'all niggas know what's up. You say Pat.
More than they know you push it like the douche out, bitch. I'm cool in his mouth.
Don't fucking bite. Y'all niggas love to steal.
Alright, so that one was almost comical with how obnoxious it felt with the blaring horns. It kind of reminded me of some earlier stuff he did, the more tongue-in-cheek tracks like Bitch Suck Dick on the first album. That kind of stuff, you know, just like so over the top with the blaring sound. But then finishing off the track with the Call Me If You Get Home theme sounding all like a 1940s sitcom or something. It's kind of surreal. Anyway, on to track 4. What's Your Name?
I'm trying to get down to the... Stop playing and let me pay your mama debt off.
All right. What's your name? We obviously heard that one in the teasers. Well, one of the teasers was basically built around that song. And again, I kind of got the feeling that it was a slightly tongue-in-cheek one, like it was taking the piss out of a romantic kind of modern R&B song. But then he had, you know, Ty Dolla $ign, Young Boy Never Broke Again on it. Presumably they were taking it seriously, so I don't really know. I can't tell how seriously to take that song. I mean, it was just a bit cheesy. Next song is the one we've definitely already heard. It's Lumberjack.
Rolls Royce pull up, black boy hop out. Shout out to my mother and my father didn't pull out. Fuck you mean, nigga?
All right, I love that one. I loved it since the single first came out, and I still love it. It's like a classic Tyler track, but with the better production and more mature delivery that he's developed over the recent couple albums. I love it. Heavy as fuck. On to track 6. It's called Hot Wind Blows.
Oh, the pilot gotta remind us, yeah. The luggage is piling, I need it.
Y'all know it's Wolf Haley, man. Stop fucking playing.
All right, so Hot Wind Blows. It brought back the lush instrumentation from the introduction track, which I was very happy to hear. It sounds brilliant. It sounds luxurious on this one. It was like a vacation rap song. And Lil Wayne actually sounded surprisingly good on the jazzy beat. And he had some pretty impressive lines going on in there. Yeah, when I think about that song in concept, I'd think it sounds like probably it's going to be cheesy, but I actually really enjoyed it. Track 7 is called Massa, and it's the first track to get over 3 minutes.
Whatever your shit is, man, do it. Massa couldn't catch me, my legs long than a bitch. Got too much self-respect.
All right. I think that was probably my favorite track so far. So it makes sense that he made it the most substantial one, you know. I loved that beat switch at the very start into the main beat of the song, which I adored. It sounded so good, and Tyler sounded perfect on it. Really tight and right in the pocket. And I kind of gathered he was talking about how his life was changed as his career progressed. It was a perfect combination between the meaning and the vibe of the song. By the end of the song, he got really aggressive again, which was compelling as hell. You know, we got a bit serious on this one, and it worked really well. He's got me hooked now. Track 8 is called Run It Up.
Here, run that shit up, baby.
Okay, I'm not too sure about that one. It was a more triumphant song after the last one, and Tyler seems to be expressing his pride of his achievements, which is cool, but the song itself was just okay for me. Definitely wasn't too keen on the hook, that's for sure. So anyway, moving on to track 9, it's called Manifesto.
Little white bitch gonna say,
we ocean deep if you just pour us in a portion of shit. Them people,
I was cancer before cancer was with Twitter fingers, protesting outside my shows like...
That beat was crazy. It was great to hear Domogenesis on the track. I think that's the first time in a while we've had an Odd Future collaboration on a Tyler album. And yeah, that was another pretty compelling track where he seemed to be talking about his career and how things have changed for him. But yeah, I really like the atmosphere on that one as well. It's pretty dark. The next song, track 10, is one of a couple of epics that we seem to have coming up on the album. This one's actually 10 minutes long. It's called Sweet and I Thought You Wanted to Dance.
No, listen.
Darling, you're the wind under my wing.
All right. So I'd say obviously the vibe of this one is more what you would expect from a follow-up to Igor. Very soulful, very smooth, and with some unexpected mood changes throughout. For a lot of it, again, I got this kind of on holiday at the beach kind of vibe. But when it went into the reggae section, which was pretty unexpected, I guess that was the Thought You Wanted to Dance part of the song. Yeah, that was not a vibe I was expecting to hear. And it was all right. I'm not totally in love with it on first listen. I think Tyler pitched his voice up for the rap towards the end. That was quite interesting. Reminded me of what Prince would do on Sign of the Times and such. So let's get on to track 11. It's called Momma Talk.
His daddy fine, I'm fine. I didn't give a fuck. She crying.
That was Tyler's mum. Anyway, so that was just like an interlude. Getting on to track 12. It's called Rise.
Shut your ass.
You ain't here, nigga, around here, you ain't the sheriff. You ain't seen shit else. See, I know I'm the guy that took a chance like Chicago, so I win. I can stay. Go ahead, nigga.
All right. Oh man, I really loved the instrumental on this one. So groovy, and Tyler went really hard. It was just a great song, this one. I really loved it. One of my favorites so far. Straight into track 13. It's called Blessed. It's just a minute long.
This is blessed. I'm gonna put a bike track and I don't take none of this shit for granted. It's opulence, baby.
All right, so yeah, that was just a little interlude with Tyler talking about how much he appreciates all his success, but that he doesn't want to let it go to his head, that he won't take it for granted. So it continues the theme of the album, which seems to more or less be looking back over his career and thinking about how far he's come and appreciating what he's achieved. Track 14 is called Juggernaut.
What it is, it's that nigga teeth, skin the color dead. Running cleats, man, come to me, you want sun to see this and turn it.
Wow. That was hard. And the features were really cool as well. Both Lil Uzi Vert and Pharrell. So yeah, that was pretty fun. It was exciting. I guess the kind of dirtiness of it kind of reminded me of what Tyler was doing on Cherry Bomb. But I think this was done quite a bit better, personally. So we've got just a couple songs left. The next one is track 15 and it's the other epic. This one's 8.5 minutes long. It's called Wilshire. Or Wilshire, I guess he might say it. Let's go.
We still gon' kick in and check in like nothing could ever stop it. The problem is he my fool. We talking about our kinks. Real cautious with the links. You don't do that type of shit. They're in the book.
All right. That was really cool, that song. I loved the vibe of the beat and the endless storytelling of the lyrics. Reminds me of A Life in the Day of Benjamin Andre by Andre 3000 of Outkast, with the way that it's just continuously telling this story in a kind of stream of consciousness kind of way. Although maybe with the style of the beat, it kind of reminded me more of Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst by Kendrick Lamar. Just seems to roll on, keep repeating, but in that really kind of hypnotic way. I really like that. And the lyrics were pretty intense. I mean, from what I could tell, it sounded like he was telling the same story as he did on IGOR, of falling in love and the difficulties and troubles of the situation that they were in, and then the kind of sad coming apart at the end. But yeah, I guess this was just a different approach to telling that same story. It's pretty compelling. I liked it. So that just brings us on to the last song, which is track 16, Safari.
So sharp that it could get Medusa coochie trim. Hove talking about 100 million.
Be gone! Be gone! Be gone!
All right, so that's the end. And that song was a pretty cool way to go out. It kind of had a psychedelic vibe. It struck me as being like a Neptune's beat gone weird. You know, it almost felt like it could have a heavy beat underneath it and sound super triumphant, but he's just kind of taken the beat out and just left it all kind of washed out and a bit strange. And then he had that flow towards the beginning that was really fast and strange, but then he had a more measured and typical Tyler flow towards the end that let us really hear his summation of the album. And yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it quite a bit. You know, this is pretty much exactly the album I was hoping for from Tyler this time around. More rap focused, more vivid, and in your face. It was really exciting, diverse. You had the lush instrumentation from the first song that repeated at times throughout. And then you had the more concise, more in your face hip hop songs, straight up rap tracks. And yeah, it just made for a really entertaining listen on first listen. And I get the feeling there's probably quite a lot to dig into on subsequent listens. There seems to be a lot of depth in the lyricism, and the music he's making often seems to blend very nicely with the themes that he's talking about. So yeah, I really enjoyed the album. Tyler's done it again, and I have no doubt that this is going to get a really good critical reception and just be considered yet another classic in his streak right now, which is really impressive. I mean, who would have thought that this was going to happen? I've been a fan of Tyler's since the Odd Future days, since when Goblin came out, and I really liked a lot of his stuff back then, but I wasn't always sure where he was going to go with it, if he was just going to fade away. Unfortunately, a lot of his Odd Future bandmates did, Odd Future itself did, but not only has Tyler stayed, he seems to have gone from strength to strength and has become this incredible artist that seems to never miss, which is great. We can hopefully look forward to even more classics from Tyler coming down the line. So if you enjoyed this reaction and review, you can subscribe to my channel for more just like this. And if you want to support my channel to make sure I can keep making these videos, you can use the link in the description to buy me a coffee. I'll really appreciate it. So thank you very much for watching, and until next time, take it easy.